is how I would describe Dragons Dogma. Now, what does that exactly entail in the grand scheme of things? Man, fuck if I know. Doesn't really mean anything, but does it really need a meaning? Okay, what if I told you, right? After 100 hours of playing Dragons Dogma, that's what it felt like. Meaningless. But is that really such a bad thing? Dragons Dogma starts off as you being the Arisen, person who's had their heart taken from a dragon, and you have to get your heart back. Story of the game feels so empty and drab that I kind of feel bad for it. At some point during the game, you won't be able to differentiate between the main quest and the side quest. And the only time you would know if the main quest, if you figure out that, oh, there's a cutscene, or oh, it's a fetch quest with a twist or some shit like that. It's a nice ass dagger. What is going on? That's the story experience for the rest of the game. Another thing I want to point out is that I feel like there's this common trend with all Japanese games where they just love to make the games as tedious as possible. Why do I say that? Because navigation is another major flaw. I don't think I've ever played a game where you backtrack this much, but there's a twist. There is no fast travel. I'm not joking, there is no fast travel. Now, before anyone corrects me, there is fast travel, but it's so bad, it's crazy. Basically, and listen carefully, fast travel is a manual. Port crystals is basically setting a fast travel marker where you can TP to that marker at any given point in time. But the thing is, right, port crystals are limited. You find them in like dungeon chests or a merchant sells you at some crazy price, so it's not even worth it to buy it because you need to leverage your economy on upgrading and buying better equipment, which, by the way, economy not bad for this game. And where to place the port crystal depends on whether you are needed to go to that place later in the future. There's no way to know. While the fast travel system sucks on nasty ass Kog'Maw, thank God, right? The exploration isn't modern day bloatware, climb up the tower to reveal more shit on the map type shit, right? Exploration reminds me of Skyrim, where you stumble upon random shit and being rewarded for just exploring. That's fucking good game design. Okay, so maybe I lied. Fast travel does exist, but it's not the way that you think. Fast travel depends on these items called fairy stones, and fairy stones can only be used once in order for you to fast travel. This was so bad in the base game that they had to add a eternal fairy stone, which was added in Dragons Dogma Dark Arisen when it came out, which is basically a cheat item, and that basically allows you to fast travel anywhere without using up any charges. Crazy. Oh, and the post game sucks. It's recycled content just to extend the length of the game. As shit as I make this game out to be, let me tell you that this game innovates on one of the two best features of this game right now: the combat and the pawn system. The combat is such a French kiss. It's an American kiss. It's oiled up black dudes looking at each other, potentially about to kiss, but are not really on that level yet. I don't even know what I just said. I really like the combat. It's way too fun for its own good, and it's been a goddamn while where the combat has impressed me this much. I think what makes it good is that there's just so many ways to tailor the combat to your own experience. Want to kill enemies by throwing them off cliffs? Grab the enemy. Oh, grab the enemy and we'll get thrown off. Oh, he's struggling free. Get the fuck out of here! Check. Want to kill enemies by having insane attack speed? Oh, damn! Check. Want to kill enemies where... check. Now, the most innovative part of the game, the pawn system. Have you ever had a friend who transcends the space-time continuum to let you know that you're out of milk? Like, they know this fact for a while, but it's like they don't do anything about it. That's what it's like. I'm not joking, that's what it's like. Pawn system is what separates the game from other AAA games during their time. These are like space traveling motherfuckers who will help other players. Yes, you heard me correctly. To aid you on your little dogma journey, you get to have 3 pawn companions. Your main pawn plus 2 other pawns. So your main pawn will stick with you to the end of the game. 2 other pawns will be constantly swapped out based on your choosing. And this feature is what makes this game so refreshing in my opinion. If you're ever stuck on a quest, you may want to swap out your old pawn with a better pawn to aid you on that quest. Other cases, your pawn will be under leveled and shit. Other cases, your pawns will look ugly or some shit. It's all these different types of factors that make the pawn system so fun. It's crazy. Only downside is that their AI is so dumb as shit. I can't sometimes. I just cannot, man. back, man. Staying there. What the Customization is endless in this game, from changing your own appearance to your pawn's appearance. There's also the fact that you have a shitload of options when it comes to armor and weapons, and the best part in my opinion is that the game isn't afraid of creating class specific items. So you are restricted to some set of items, but that restriction only applies if you don't decide to switch between classes. And speaking of classes, there are a ton of different classes to play around with. Level up in those classes, retain the skills of those classes, and you can do the exact same thing on your main pawn. Customization, let me repeat, is endless. Alright, I don't want the review to be too long, so this is my take. These are my pros and cons, and you get to decide whether they match your expectations, your experiences, or you have a different opinion. So you can write that in the comments. If you're interested, you can take my review for advice for if you want to buy the game or if you don't want to buy the game. Now, before I leave you, I need to tell you something so important. It bears the head of a cock.